Championship night is here in Freeport, Illinois at the 57th annual Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament as Highland faces off against Moberly, 15th ranked in the nation. Welcome into Larry F. Kale Gymnasium. I'm Adam Oppenheim. Both teams are 2-0 on the weekend, winning a game each on both Friday and Saturday to set up a third matchup between these two teams this season. Moberly currently sits at 13-1, winners of their last 8 games under head coach Patrick Smith in his 17th season overall with the Greyhounds. It's his second stint, coached from 01 to 04, and then came back to Moberly area in 2012. This was a team that made the Junior College Region 16 championship game. They were 26-6 last year, 13-1 in conference play. Had a great team last year, lost their top 6 scorers, and they've been terrific again this year. 6th in the region in points per game, scoring over 78 a game. They force a lot of turnovers. They don't turn the ball over. They're efficient at the offensive end, and they have been a tough team to score on this season. They've allowed the fewest points in the region at 67.3 points per game, and they blew out both their games this tournament weekend. They won against Macomb Community College 79-62, and then earlier today against Moraine Valley Community College 95-72. They won both November matchups with Highland 79-60. That was in a neutral site. They pulled away with a second half run, and they won 62-57. And a closer game back on their home floor. That was on November 29th. Well, Highland, they played well this weekend, but they're certainly going to need to play a lot better. They beat Lake County by 10 yesterday and squeaked by Southeastern 64-60. They won the first half by 10 points. And the league got a little bit closer. But last time these two teams played, once again, it was a much closer game than the first time in a neutral court. Head coach Eric Walton wanted to see his team with the home crowd behind him against this Moberly area team, one of the best teams in the nation. Well, we'll get you the starting lineups and keys to the game after this short break. Welcome back to Freeport, Illinois. Championship game of the Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament. So the 57th annual tournament all comes down to this game, which was delayed because the third place game went into double overtime. That's why we're starting a little bit late. So let's now get you the starters for the visiting Moberly area Greyhounds. A sophomore guard from St. Louis, Missouri, number 1, Jaden Banks. A sophomore forward from Flower Mound, Texas, number 4, Josh Lowe. A sophomore guard from Louisville, Kentucky, number 11, Dalton Hicks. A freshman forward from Springfield, Illinois, number 12, Shaughnessy Hatchett. And a freshman guard from Kansas City, Missouri, number 22, Caleb Estes. So a very consistent starting lineup for the Greyhounds this season. These 5 starters have been together all season long. Cougars are going to go with the same starting lineup as they had earlier today. A redshirt sophomore guard from Florida, number 1, Kevin Morales. A sophomore guard from Rockford, Illinois, number 2, Walter Hill Jr. A freshman guard from Madison, Wisconsin, number 4, Anthony Washington. A redshirt sophomore forward from Dangriga, Town Belize, number 20, Jaheim Siga. And a redshirt sophomore forward in the middle from Chicago, Illinois, number 23, Chin Hansen. Greyhounds are manned by Patrick Smith, as I mentioned earlier, 17th season overall. Assistant is Luke Norman, and his first season as an assistant. Spent the prior 3 seasons with Highland as the head coach. Was the son of legendary head coach Pete Norman, who coached Highland for 15 years. First time back at Larry F. Kill Gymnasium. And Eric Walton took over the duties as head coach. He's in his first season with the Cougars. And these two teams ready to go at it for the 3rd time this season in the championship game of the Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament. On the baseline was Hatchett, back outside for a 3-pointer. That's short by Estes. Highland has really been locking in more on their defensive identity. This team is talented, just trying to put all the pieces together. A lot of new faces for both these teams. As Hansen works his way into the paint, the follow-away jumper bounces in for Chin Hansen, who with the game earlier today now leads the nation in both rebounds and blocks, to go along with 16 points per game. On the drive, Banks draws a couple of defenders. 3-point shot from the corner is off the mark from Hicks, and it will go to the Cougars. Moberly area, and there are a couple of games, it's pretty much been no sweat. They've been ahead early in both games and held the lead in double figures nearly the entire second half in both games. Walter Hill Jr. stops back outside of Washington, who had his first triple of the season earlier today against Southeastern. 5 on the shot clock for Walter Hill Jr. Gotta go to work. Hill Jr. between the legs, can't get a shot up. Estes played good defense. This is a team, once again, the Greyhounds, best defensive team in the region by points per game allowed, but they also hold teams to low shooting percentage from the field and 3. Off again by Hicks, second opportunity. Banks can't cash out from 3, another offensive rebound. Josh Lowe inside against the smaller Morales, missed. Highland dodges a bullet. Hill Jr. attacks. Inside to Hansen, he's fouled. Chin Hansen has been even better than expected for Highland. Put his freshman season at Roosevelt. Didn't get a whole lot of run. Played in 5 games. And last season played at State Fair Community College. And Coach Wallen said before the season, Division I schools are already looking at Chin Hansen. And I will say has boosted his case so far this season. If you lead the nation in rebounds and blocks, can score the ball from all over the floor, and are a defensive anchor. Pretty much everything you can ask for in a player. He has the first 4 for Highland. Good pressure up top by Morales. Low hands it off to Banks. Jaden Banks into the paint. Estes open, left wing 3, got it. First points for the Greyhounds is a triple. And then a foul. Against Estes. Was trying to prevent Hansen from running to the rim. Junior gives to Hansen. They're shading help his way. Now they come over and forces the miss. Banks, Estes, same spot, different result. Morales, Washington streaking up the floor. He catches and finishes. Beautiful work in transition by Anthony Washington. It was a difficult catch, got it on the backboard, and spun it in. Estes, they're leaving him alone. Seago, too late to close out. Estes has his second triple, averaging a shade under 15 points per game and 40% from downtown this season. Morales waits and gets it to Seago, who drives into the paint, was looking for contact, none called. Turnover, Highland. Levante Ivory checks into the game for the Greyhounds. He's the first sub as well. He has the ball now, number 2 in gray. Ivory on the drive with the left hand, can't finish. The follow is good by Josh Lowe. Who has improved dramatically this season compared to last, where he averages 3 points per game, up to 9 this season. Started every game for the Greyhounds. Hansen off the bounce, attacking low, lost the ball. 10 on the shot clock for Hill Jr. Guarded by Ivory. Hill Jr. uses his right hand all the way to the cup to score it off glass. Shaughnessy Hatchet attacks, got fouled. Goes against Washington. First team foul for Highland. The first game this season between these two teams, it was Moberly winning by 19, and it was a big second half run. It was something in the vicinity of a 20-5 run. And Moberly was able to bury Highland early in the second half. The second matchup was much more back and forth, with the Greyhounds coming out with the victory. Hansen goes to the bench for Daryl Toney. Short on the second. Daryl Toney played important minutes last game, and next to the game versus Southeastern with 2 free throws. Had 6 points, 8 rebounds. Morales finds Seago, driving lane, Seago got fouled. When that space opens up for Seago, there is no doubt he is trying to take off. As aggressive as they come, going to the rim. Seago rolls home the first. Had 9 points earlier today, 2 for 11 from the floor. 0 for 2 from three-point range. Southeastern was giving him the 3 ball. He only took a pair. Seago misses the second free throw. We're tied at 9. Ivory has the big Tony on him. Ivory works to the free throw line. It rolls off. And Seago has the rebound. Seago going a little too fast, turned the ball over. Jaden Banks. Open Ivory. Off the rim. Lowe has the offensive rebound. Shot clock resets to 20. Ivory has it back against Morales. Estes. They left him alone to drive. Seago, nice contest. He went straight up. And now slow getting back the other way is Jaheim Sego. Bit of a miscommunication on a switch there for Highland. One thing Eric Walton stresses a lot is communication. Cougars, a lot of work late in the shot clock. That's what Moberly makes you do because of their defense. Hill Jr. sidestep three, hits back iron. And Estes has the rebound. Estes looking to give it up. 10 on the shot clock. Ivory's going to call for a low screen. Morales right on Ivory. He gets around him. The floater's good. Off glass. Avante Ivory was being tightly guarded by Morales, but able to get a tough shot to fall. Hill Jr. between the legs looking for room to operate. Nice defense by Banks. Now the floater on the fly is no good. Hill Jr. has the rebound. Highland will reset. They are not getting any clean looks at the offensive end. Shot clock once again inside 10. Morales attacks Estes. High off the window, it didn't hit rim. Washington puts it up. It hit the rim, but the rebound is wrestled away by Shaughnessy Hatchett. Skip pass, Estes, bingo. Caleb Estes on a heater to start. He's 3 for 4 from distance. Hill Jr. finds Morales, who opts to take a mid-range jumper. Hits the back of the rim. And Moberly looking to play fast. Transition three-pointer, Ivory. That's no good. Hill Jr. off a ball screen. Moberly doesn't communicate on the switch. Hill Jr. makes them pay. First trifecta of the game for Highland. Walter Hill Jr. after the game earlier today, now above 40% from three on the season. Estes bounces inside to Hatchett, who had a strip by Washington. He got it back and couldn't finish. Hill Jr. slashes into the paint, finds Morales, corner three-pointer. Got it! Kevin Morales from downtown. Well, Highland is going to need to shoot the ball well to keep pace with a tough Moberly team. Nice contest by Tony on the Ivory attempt in the restricted area. Hill Jr. variety of moves. And we'll pull it back out. Guarded by Caleb Estes, one of the best perimeter defenders for Moberly. 10 on the shot clock. Hill Jr.'s got to go to work. Attacks. Tough shot. It was last touched by Moberly. Only one on the shot clock, though, for Highland. When you're at the left side of the basket, running right-hand floater is one of the toughest shots you're going to see. So Highland calls a timeout maybe to set something out of the timeout. They only have 1 second on the shot clock. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 15-14. Highland leads Moberly with 9:47 to go. Hanson is ready to check into the game. Would assume for Tony. Although, if you watched earlier today, I mentioned the double big lineup of Tony and Hanson. It was very successful earlier today. I talked to Coach Wallen about it. He said that probably is the most we've played that double big lineup all year. And it worked out well, and they're going back to it now. So Tony stays in the game. Washington and Seago come to the bench. Jordan Watts and Mayo Swansea also come in. Watts had career best in minutes with 17 and had 5 points, also a career high earlier today. Okay, it did hit the rim, so the shot clock is reset to 20. Not sure if Highland knew that. Coming out of the timeout, it's a turnover anyways. Banks has it up ahead, finished off by Julian Doyle. Watts is stuck. He walked with it. Good ball pressure by Dalton Hicks. Seago comes in for Tony. Nope, rather it's Morales. Morales comes in for Watts. So very short stint this time for Jordan Watts, who had a ton of key minutes earlier today against Southeastern. To the cup, the floater is off fire, and second attempt is no good by Hicks inside off the initial shot from Ivory. Steven Jurisic comes in for the first time. Morales, nice pass to Swansea, no hesitation, pulls the three and cans it. Three triples each for both teams. And make it four for Moberly. Ivory, a downtown hit. Morales trying to work into the paint, drops off to Hansen. Had it knocked away for a moment and still buries it from the mid-range. So skilled that even when it's deflected or he's shown to, can still hit that jumper on balance and falling away. Ivory, nice hesitation move against Morales. Floater over the top of Hansen. Comes up short, it's tipped out and not able to be saved by Banks. Good effort on the glass by Lowe. And now Josh Lowe checks out. Ronnie Mabando comes in for the first time. 2019 Highland. If you were looking at this tournament before it started, I think these were the two teams who you wanted to see face off against each other. Jurisic into the paint, aggressive, can't bank it in. Hansen tips it and saves it. Another possession for Highland. Swansea short on the mid-range J. Estes finds the cutter, Doyle got fouled. Smart transition push by Moberly. Buckets are gonna be hard to come by in this game. We already talked about the Greyhounds defense allowing 67.3 points per game. It's first in the region. Highland, not far behind. That's 70.4. That's 7th in Region 4. Of course, Moberly is in Region 16. Team from Moberly, Missouri. Doyle ties the game with the first and gives the Greyhounds the lead, knocking down the second. Low foul game as well. 3 fouls for the Greyhounds, 2 for the Cougars. Morales fumbled the ball on the initial catch. They're looking inside of Hansen. Morales, right wing three, in and out. Threw his hands up in the air, couldn't believe that didn't go down. Bullet feed inside. Doyle working on Hansen with the left hand. Is denied by Hansen. Count the basket and the foul. The putback is good by Mabando. Mabando can't cap off the three-point play. That was initial good defense by Chin Hansen. But if he comes over to help, an offensive rebound is possible. Morales fakes on a three, stops, baseline jumper off the mark. Hansen rebounds it inside as it knocked away, and Hicks couldn't get it out of his hands before he could find Ivory. Washington comes in for Hill Jr. It's really a smart play if you're Dalton Hicks, because you saw a lot of Cougars in the area. You want to find someone to pass it to. You don't want to just throw it under the rim without knowing who's there. Now we have a discussion with our officiating crew. I think it's about the shot clock. Yes. Shot clock goes back to 30 because Hicks had possession of the ball. Swansea thought about the triple. Morales inside Washington. Quick 1-2. Hansen goes up strong. Can't finish. Last hit, Jurisic. Seago comes in for Steven Jurisic. Vontae Ivory. Mayo Swansea giving him his left hand and forces the mid-range jumper. Last touch by Hansen. Mabando was battling with Hansen. And off to Ivory. Chinson outside the paint and not able to finish. Was Ivory. It's stolen back by Hicks. Another opportunity for the Greyhounds. Mabando working against Hansen. Reach and foul called against Washington. It's actually against Hansen. It was a push initially. I think if the push was not called, Washington was going to pick up the foul. Only the first on Chin Hansen, who fouled out last game for the first time this season. Hadn't even reached 4 fouls before today's game. Estes lost the ball going up, so he passes outside, gets it right back, and drills the three. Caleb Estes, 4 first-half triples. Bounce to Hansen, inside. Finds the cutter Washington, had nowhere to go with the ball. Morales, 2 are right next to each other. So Swansea gets away from Hansen, who has it poked from behind by Doyle. Levante Ivory working on Seago. Bullet feed inside the cutter. It's Dalton Hicks. Hicks's first basket tonight. And it's the largest lead of the game for the Greyhounds, 28-20. Where do the Cougars go to if not Chin Hansen with Walter Hill Jr. on the bench? Seago attacks and draws the foul. 14th foul against Moberly area. Tony comes in for Hansen. And now Walter Ho Jr. is ready to check back in for Mayo Swansea. Over the top to Walter Hill Jr. It's a dangerous pass. Picked off by Ivory. Goes up and finger rolls it in. Ivory now has 7. Seago at the other end finds Morales. Corner 3. They got it. Big trifecta for the Cougars. The second three-pointer by Kevin Morales. Cougars trying to stay attached. Ivory against Washington. Nearly lost the ball, got it to Estes. Bounce inside of Mabandu. Against Tony, blocked by Seago. Good help defense. Mabandu got it back and walked. Terrific defensive play by Jaheim Seago. And now Julian Doyle's coming to the bench, holding his head. Shaughnessy Hatchett checks in for Doyle. Seven-point deficit for Highland. Morales thought about another corner triple. Gets it back, 10 on the shot clock. Seago inside, pressured from behind by Hicks, who picks up the foul. Seago is not looking behind him, but he does pick up the personal against Hicks. That's his second, so he checks out in favor of Banks. And Mabandu comes out. Josh Lowe comes back in. It was deflected out of bounds. So Highland will inbound again. Tony holding. 8 on the shot clock. Washington out to Morales. Got to make something happen. Lost the ball. Too many late shot clock situations for the Cougars. Morales limping a little bit on his left knee. Has his brace on the right knee. He missed the game a few games ago. Has a fracture in his knee, but just playing through it. Estes, tough fall-away jumper is no good. Crashing the glass was Low. He picks up the foul. Nope, rather it's against Hatchett. Both were going after the ball. As Seago is on the ground. Wonder if it's the bruised ribs again. Missed the first 2 games of the season with bruised ribs. And last week, versus Malcolm X, left the game with about 7 minutes to go. The re-aggravation of the rib injury just hasn't gone away this season. Washington was looking for Hill Jr. to move up the floor. And those are the turnovers Highland cannot afford to have. Seago comes out of the game for Hansen. Straight on 3 for Ivory. Swishes through. Levante Ivory, 10 points already. Leading scorer for the Greyhounds at 19.3 a game. Shoots 47% from the floor and 41 from three-point range. Hill Jr., the floater, bounces off. Lowe secures the rebound. Levante Ivory, just an effortless score Estes got another three. He can't miss. 5 for 6 from downtown. 15 points by the freshman guard, Caleb Estes. Timeout, Highland. A full timeout with 1:52 to go in the first half. Greyhounds' lead is now a game-high 13 points. Well, after it was close early, the Greyhounds have retrieved the lead from the Cougars and have not let go. They now lead by 13 points. Caleb Estes forced the last Highland timeout, already above his season average. Averages 14.6 a game, has 15 on 5 triples in the first half. Was really red hot the past couple of games. Was 9 for 17 from 3 in the first 2 games. Hansen has it. Works into the paint, sees a second body, got fouled. It's a foul against Lowe. Hansen, way off the mark on the first. Hansen in and out on the second. Oh, Highland can't let this get out of control as we near the end of the first half. Close throughout, the past 8 minutes have been dominated by the Greyhounds. Ivory works against Seago. To the rim, took a little bump, couldn't finish. Seago in transition. It's a 3-on-2. It was stripped by Estes. A foul called. Estes had a lot of ball, but also some of the body of Seago. Called a blocking foul. So Seago will shoot 1-and-1. Seago was 5 for 8 at the line earlier today. Shade under 60% on the season. And he's off on the first. Morales battling for the rebound, beats 2 Greyhounds to it. Seago lost the ball. Morales has it. Hansen open underneath, pump fakes, count the basket, and 1. Good patience by Chin Hansen. Abandu was looking to pick up a giant block at the cup. Pump faked. Got hammered. And the strong finish puts Hansen up to 8 and now 9 as he converts the 3-point play. Leads at 10 for Moberly. Jaden Banks off a ball screen from Lowe. Back up top to Lowe. 7 on the shot clock. Banks, under 5 on the shot clock. Go to work. Difficult shot is short. Shot clock violation on the 3-point attempt by Ivory. Shot clock's off for the Cougars. And a chance to bring the game to single digits at halftime. and Highland would love some momentum going into the second half. Hill Jr. Morales, that's a deep three. Back iron from half court. Nearly went at the buzzer from Ivory. And Moberly area looking for the third win against Highland this season, and they lead by double figures going into halftime. 36-26, your halftime score. Highland is led by Hanson with 9. Morales has 6. Walter Hill Jr. added 5. Moberly, Caleb Estes, game high 15 points on 5 triples. Levante Ivory had 10. And Julian Doyle added 4, the third leading scorer for Moberly. Well, we'll take a short halftime break, approximately 10 minutes, and be back for the second half of the championship game, the 57th annual Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament in Freeport, Illinois. Will continue after this break. Welcome back to Larry F. Kale Gymnasium, home of the Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament, which currently has 1/2 to go to decide the champion of the 57th annual tournament here in Freeport. Moberly looking to go back-to-back. They won last season this same tournament, beating Sauk Valley, Southeastern, and Moraine Valley in the championship game. Lead got as high as 13 in the first half for Moberly. It is 10 to begin the second half. Caleb Estes coming back out onto the floor at 15 points, 5 triples, was 5 for 7 from distance. Moberly as a team was 7 for 16 from 3. Highland also shot a high percentage, but not a high volume of threes, just 4 for 7. And a similar story to most games for the Greyhounds. They do not turn the ball over a lot, and they force a lot of turnovers. 8 turnovers for Highland in the first half, just 3 for the Greyhounds. Highland will begin with the ball to start the second half. Same starters for both teams that began the game. Seago on the cut, flies to the rim for 2. Explosive start to the second half for Highland. And the lead is 8 for Moberly. Estes hands to Banks. Morales has played tight perimeter defense all game long. Estes this time pulls up from the elbow. Can't roll it in. The majority of Caleb Estes' shots come from 3, so you would think Highland's going to try to run him off the 3-point line as best as they can in the second half, considering he was scorching hot in the first half. Hill Jr., pretty quiet in the first half, just 5 points. Morales back outside of Washington. On the drive, is stuck, goes for a floater over the top, hits back iron, races after the ball. But Hatchett has the rebound. Banks coming downhill, has room, mid-range jumper, cans it. Jaden Banks has his first field goal. Nobody picked up the ball for Highland. Morales finds Seago, who sees a double team. Someone's open. It's Hansen. He lost the ball. Last hit, Chin Hansen. It was a good play to find Seago, who had multiple options decided for possible easy deuce, but Hansen lost the ball. Estes, no hesitation, it's blocked by Morales. Not easy to block a 3-pointer. And then Seago was fouled from behind by Hatchett. Kevin Morales timed it up extremely well. And knowing that Estes was going to be aggressive, shooting the 3. Hill Jr., a legal screen against Seago. 2 turnovers to begin the second half for Highland. Disgust shown on the face of Eric Walton. To beat a good team like Moberly, you can't beat yourself first and foremost. That's what Highland did in parts of the first half and now to begin the second half. Lowe tries a 3, buries it from the outside. Josh Lowe, 48% from distance this season. Didn't even attempt a 3 last year. And has been terrific from downtown. Lob up top to Seago, it banked in. How did that fall? Morales was looking for Seago on a lob, and it goes down as a 3-point make. High arcing shot by Estes, it hit the backboard, and then the rebound by Hatchett. He was fouled. And just going back to that last play, Seago almost interfered with the ball on the rim. Close to a basket interference. So they're going to correct the scoreboard and say that it's not a made three-pointer for Kevin Morales. Instead, it's a two-point basket for Seago. Well, it's still a crazy play, even though it's 2 instead of 3, because that was most certainly not a shot. That was going up top to Seago. It was a touch pack that was just left a little bit low as the first free throw is missed by Hatchett. Morales, that was a lane violation. I think he's saying he got pushed in. I don't know how you would fall so far forward towards Hatchett. But the official who made the call wouldn't be able to see if he was pushed from behind. Looked like he also could have just lost his balance. Hatchett is able to cash in, so missed the first 2, but got the third free throw to fall because of the lane violation. Hill Jr. drives the paint, bounces, Hansen, 2-hand throwdown. Chin Hansen, first Cougar into double figures. He has 11. Jaden Banks against Washington, works to the elbow and rattles it in. Jaden Banks averages just under 9 per game, had none in the first half and 4 quick ones here in the second. Hill Jr. finds his way. The basket came up short on the bank shot. Dalton Hicks races to the other end, denied by Seago. Went up with 2 hands and blocked it with 1. Another opportunity. Hicks inside. This time got it over Seago. But the Belize product forced the miss. Morales working one-on-one. Spins inside. Short on the jump hook. He was looking for a foul. Skip pass. Estes steps into a 3. Off the side of the rim. Highland catches a break. No one picked up Estes in transition. Probably one of the only people who didn't want to go to halftime. That's how hot he was. Hansen lost the ball. Estes against Morales. Short, but a foul called against Kevin Morales. Second against Morales. That will send Estes to the line for the first time tonight. Jurisic ready to check in after the first. Estes looking to add to his game high. Cannot. Short on the first. Hansen comes out for Jurisic. We'll see how long Chin Hansen will be out for. Does have a brace on his left knee. I don't think he had that earlier today. Estes able to drain the second. He now has 16. Lead is 13 for the Greyhounds. It's a team that is very tough because they do not beat themselves. Walter Hill Jr. off glass. And they nearly turned it over there, but Banks able to keep it in play. They average 8.1 turnovers per game and turn over their opponents 17 times. Banks thought about the corner 3 back outside of Ivory. 15 on the shot clock. Ivory against Jurisic. Goes inside, left it off. Flush in the foul. Hatchett on the receiving end on the dime from Levante Ivory. Can't cap off the three-point play. Nice rebound by Seago. Nearly out of his reach. Walter Hill Jr. steps back for three. Bullseye! Highland needed that triple. The second one for Walter Hill Jr. today. He now has 10 points. 2 for 3 from distance. Pass inside a Hatchet. Seago goes straight up. Plays the defense and cleans it up on the glass. Looking to get this game back into single digits. Walter Hill Jr. turns it over. Was looking to go to work and lost control of the ball. Inbounds goes to Ivory. Had a look at a corner three, but opts against it. Ivory against Seago to the rim is denied by Washington. See if that will spark a transition play for the Cougars. Hill Jr. into his bag, got stripped. Up the floor, Hatchet to the rim! Shaughnessy Hatchet showing off the hops. 12-point lead for Moberly. Seago trying to answer, cannot. Ivory has the rebound. Ivory draws out Jurisic. Now Hatchet against Seago. Seago fell down, no call. Hatchet, open three-point shot. Off back iron for Banks. Cougars are staying attached just enough, but they would like to get this game in a single digits. Timeout for Highland, a full timeout. 13:16 to go. Moberly area leads Highland 49-37. Well, some changes out of the timeout. David Udella checks in for the first time today. He didn't play. Well, rather, he played against Southeastern, but only for 2 minutes. A freshman from Angola. And Mohamed Bello Suleiman from Nigeria also comes in for the first time tonight. Looking for a spark for the Cougars as Hill Jr. goes to the bench. Jurisic posted up. He had it knocked away from behind. Last hit, Suleiman. So Hill Jr. and Washington to the bench after the timeout. Highland played 11 players in the game earlier today as Jaden Banks is fouled on the mid-range jumper. 15 foul against Highland. Moberly area only has 1. They've done a great job like they have all season, defending without fouling. First free throw. No good for Banks. The second one spins out. Boy, the Greyhounds have had opportunities to try to push this lead up to 17, 18 points, but Highland's hanging in the game, even though the offense has been tough to come by in the half court. Morales, Udella on the drive. That's a foul against Ivory. And now that's the second team foul against the Greyhounds. Got to get the ball in bounds. Up top to Seago. It's not a bad option. He skies high for the catch. Now goes to the rim. It spins out. Great move by Jaheim Seago. Suleiman comes up with the ball. Goes to work against Estes. Follow-away jumper. Rolls off. Highland had a couple good looks at it. But once again, the lead remains at 12 for the Greyhounds. Ivory thought about it. Morales closes. Now Banks off the dribble. Estes finds Ivory. Got a three. Levante Ivory, his third triple. Timeout Highland. Coach Walton not happy on the bench. We'll take a break with 11:48 to go in the second half. The Greyhounds lead is now 15. After the Highland timeout, Suleiman comes out of the game. Mayo Swansea checks back in. Highland has really not had a ton of open shots, and the ones they have had, they haven't been able to convert. Nice step through move by Morales. Off the rim, Seago on the follow. Gets it to fall. Ivory, hesitation move. Open three-point shooter, it's Estes. In and out. Highland catches a giant break. That's the most open Caleb Estes has been all game. Morales has a whole side to work with against Banks. Trying to take advantage, he got fouled before the shot was wiped away by Lowe. Morales on that in the first. This could help the Cougars' cause, getting to the foul line. Or 4 for 8 from there in the first half. And this is, I believe, their first time getting to the free throw line in the second half. Morales short on the second. It was tipped out by Jurisic. Levante Ivory creates some room against Swansea and goes way high off the glass. Trying to wipe away any of the shot blocking presence from Hansen. And it does good work there. Udella on the bounce, strong move, and one. David Udella. Strong move to the cup. Didn't score earlier today. 0 points in 2 minutes. Had a career high in Highland's first game in this tournament against Lake County. He had 13 points. Not able to cap off the three-point play. Banks leaves it off. Three-point shot in the air. Three-point shot down. Levante Ivory taking over in the second half. Has 18 for the game, 8 coming in the second half. Udella in and out on the three. Nice rebound by Seago. And then airballed the floater. Didn't take his time to look where he was on the floor. Transition three. This time it's no good by Ivory. Offensive rebound. And a put back jumper from the mid-range. Good by Doyle. And the lead is 17 for Moberly area. Udella finds the corner shooter at Swansea. Udella is able to keep it alive to Morales. Looking inside of Hansen. Back to Swansea. They move it around. Udella tries a three. Back iron. Ivory inside, wide open. Doyle the finish. $19-point lead for the Greyhounds. Their largest lead of the game. Morales. Highland needs an answer. Under 9 to play. Inside Hansen. Foul line jumper off 1 foot. It's all net. Highland's gonna need a lot more of that down the stretch in the second half. Only 1 3-point shot made as well in the second half. High over the top with the left hand. It's Ivory. Levante Ivory, interestingly enough, usually comes off the bench. Actually has pretty much come off the bench every game, but averages the most points on the team. Swansea hits the back of the rim. Ivory, the transfer from Volunteer State Community College, averaged 12 points there and has really picked up his play since coming to Moberly area. He draws the foul against Udella. Hill Jr. comes in for Swansea with 8:05 to go. Jaden Banks works around Udella. The floater is up and off the mark. Hill Jr. dashes up the floor, finds Udella, transition three. They need it. They got it. Big downtown hit for David Udella. Shooting just 22% on the season from three-point range. Ivory. Back outside on the drive. Banks nearly lost it. Finds an open Hicks. Another offensive rebound. Can't put it back in. Doyle. A third opportunity. Fouled inside, was low. Highland has been outworked and out-hustled in the second half. Really started at the end of the first half, where the game was hovering around 2 to 3 point game for the first 12 or so minutes. Moberly got the lead into double figures. It was 10 at halftime, and Highland has barely been able to get into single digits here in the second half. They've had chances. Low, short on the first. He does hit the second. Well, not a whole lot of energy right now that Highland is down by 17. Morales had his pass deflected, finds its way to Hill Jr. Morales nearly taken away, gets it to Seago, but it's through his hands. Doyle picks up the ball. Doyle all the way to the cup. It was rejected. Kevin Morales. My goodness, what a defensive play. Timed it up beautifully. And a guy that just stands at 6'1" has had multiple blocks this season on chase downs. The ball last hit Moberly area as well. So it goes back to Highland. Hill Jr. Short. On the drive and taking contact was Ivory, got the ball back. Levante Ivory brings it back outside. 12 on the shot clock for Banks. Number 1's matched up. And now pulls up over Morales and drills it. That was actually Jaden Banks, rather. So Banks has 6 points. Morales thought about the three, Udella. Chin Hansen gets a touch, wide open at the elbow. He usually doesn't miss those shots, but it rolls off. Ivory on the drive was rejected by Hansen. And then an offensive foul as Doyle barreled into Udella. 5:27 to play, 19-point game. Lowe and Banks come to the bench. Estes comes back in. More of a quiet second half, only has scored 1 point after 15 in the first half, including 5 threes, but his teammates have picked up the slack. He really did the heavy lifting in the first half. Morales, right wing three, around and out. Tipped and taken by Hicks. Ivory looks for the play call, working against Udella. Udella picks up the personal. Third against David Udella. That's the 18th foul. So the Greyhounds will be shooting the rest of the way. Once again, Moberly area just has 5 team fouls. Ivory, good on the front end. Adding to his total from this weekend. Had 42 points over the 2 prior games. And didn't shoot the ball from 3, well, in either game. 2 for 10 combined. But in this game, these had 5 triples. 21-point lead for the Greyhounds. Their largest lead. Seago down the lane. Got hit on the way up. Seago misses the first. Second for Seago. Rolls in. .20 game. 4:40 to play. It's a dominant run this season, and in the tournament as Estes tries a three, short, follow slam! Dalton Hicks, an exclamation mark on the Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament. And the bench is up for Moberly area. They are fired up about the 6'2" Hicks going upstairs. Hill Jr. off to Udella. Short on the three-point. Morales skies high for the rebound. Finds Udella inside the floaters off the mark. And tipped, but to Estes. Levante Ivory. Try to go over Seago, who might have got a piece of it, but certainly affected the shot. Hill Jr. Left to right cross, Udella. Thought about another three. Finds Morales open in the corner. Way short. Hansen on the follow. Got to think for both these teams. Legs getting a little bit tired. Third game in 2 days. These teams play early season tournaments where it's not uncommon, but it still is a thing to keep in mind. But what I will say is Moberly area has looked like the faster team in both the first, at the end of the half, and in the second half. His Ivory on the drive, had knocked away. Estes, back to Ivory, corner three-pointer. Wouldn't fall. On the deck, keeping it in play is Hicks. Scramble for it. It ends up with Hatchett. He's fouled from behind. Fourth against Udella, who's getting a ton of run here in the second half. The rotation has fluctuated a ton for Highland. It was Jordan Watts being worked into the last couple of games. Suleiman has had his shots. Daryl Toney has played today, more so in the earlier game versus Southeastern. And now Udella, who started some games from Highland, getting a good bit of time in the second half. Both free throws are good. Hill Jr. short. Under 2.5 minutes to play. Moberly area looking to go back-to-back. And the Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament. Banks off the bounce. Estes fires over Hansen. Difficult shot. It ends up with a rebound. And a hammer. Hatchet. And now a bunch of subs coming in for Moberly. For the third time this weekend, everyone getting action for the Greyhounds. As Nathan Stodert, Harrison Bailey Howard, Braylon Brown, James Imus, and Dahani Flanagan come in for the Greyhounds. Watts comes in for Highland along with Swansea, Toney, Udella, and Washington. Swansea off the bounce, got fouled by Stodert. Oh, this looked like more of the first game these teams played this season. where it was a big second half run. The run came in the first half this time against Highland, where Moberly area won 79-60. As Swansea misses the first foul shot. As compared to the one a couple of weeks ago on November 29th, where it was a 62-57 win on the home floor for Moberly area, who now is looking to beat Highland on neutral court at home and in the visiting team's building, the Highland Cougars. Joshua Jennings checks in for the 5th time this year. Cade Gurdon comes in for the 4th time this year. They'll walk on. Bailey Howard steps into a three. Comes right into the game and drills a triple. Watts off the bounce. The floater is short. And Imus has the rebound. Tahani Flanagan. Open corner three-point shot. Down it goes. Stoddard. Everyone hitting from downtown for the Greyhounds. Swansea, step back three. Tough contested shot. It's off back iron. Jennings has the rebound. Inside of Tony. He was stripped, but a foul called against Bailey Howard. Tony short on the first. Just a reminder, all highlights of Highland here in the Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament will be uploaded to YouTube as game highlights about range from 8 to 12 minutes or so. Just search up Adam Oppenheim, Highland versus whoever they're playing, and all season long we'll have those for you cut up in case you missed any of the game, because that's tossed away by Flanagan, or interested in rewatching. 80-52, just dominance by the Greyhounds. Won the first game by 17. Won the second game against Moraine Valley by 23. Now looking to win by even more. Brown flying high. Nasty throwdown. Ten seconds to play. Gurdon working into the paint. Watts, right wing three, swishes through for Jordan Watts. Jordan Watts has his third three-pointer of the year, but that's gonna do it. Moberly Area Community College wins back-to-back Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament championships. This one in dominant fashion. They improve each game they played. Winning the first game against Macomb Community College 79-62, 17-point win. The second game against Moraine Valley Community College 95-72, 23-point win. And then winning 82-55, a 27-point win versus Highland. The fans who made the trip down from Moberly area, the 15th ranked team in the nation, they could very well be going up in the next poll we see here at the junior college level. And Moberly area has now won 9 straight games. Once again, a dominant 82-55 victory over Highland. Let's get you the final stats from today's championship game. Chin Hansen had 15 for Highland. Walter Hill Jr. had 10. Seago had 8. Levante Ivory had 22. Caleb Estes had 16. Shaughnessy Hatchett had 10. I think we're getting a tournament team on the announcement, so we'll wait for that to be called before we cap off the broadcast. As the mic has run out, or someone disconnected it, rather.
From Highland, number 2, Walter Hill Jr. And our tournament MVP goes to number 22 from Moberly, Caleb Estes.
And the tournament MVP, the freshman guard from Kansas City, Missouri, number 22, Caleb Estes. Hit 5 triples in the first half, ends today with 16 points. So that means Estes had 20 points in the first game, 23 in the game yesterday, rather. 20 points in the first game today. And adding those 3 numbers together, 59 points over the 3 games. Not bad, including shooting right at 50% from 3-point range. So Moberly is going to be greeted with the trophy, handed over to head coach Patrick Smith. As Moberly area improves to 3-0 on the season versus Highland, winning 1 game at a neutral site, 1 at home, and 1 on the road. Well, that's going to do it here at the 57th annual Dimond Brothers Insurance Tournament. Thank you for tuning in with us all weekend long, whether you watched the Highland games, the non-Highland games, and every game in between. We certainly appreciate the support. It's going to be a pretty long time until Highland will be back playing games. They next play January 7th at Trident, and are back home on January 10th versus Richard J. Daley College. So just below a month away. And we hope you join us for those games, but we certainly have a busy January and February as Highland falls to 8-7 on the season. Number 15, Moberly area, improves to 14-1 on the season. Well, that's going to do it here from Larry F. Keough Gymnasium in Freeport, Illinois. Again, the final, Moberly area 82, Highland 55.